You're watching BCTV, Branford's community access station.
This is BCTV, Branford Government Television, a service of Branford Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the Town of Branford.
Okay, I'll call the Police Commission meeting to order. It's June 11th. It's 5:34. And first of all, approval of the minutes.
Yeah. So moved. I make a motion that we approve the minutes of May 10, May 14, May 15, and May 21.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the reason for so many meetings, we were doing interviews for Deputy Chief. Then, I guess, just report of the chief.
All right, good evening. All right, we'll start off with the CompStat report. During the past month, we issued 315 tickets, 38 of which were for cell phone or distracted driver violations. All right, moving into the CompStat report. A Squad, you could see their statistics on page 3. Current period, they went down a little bit on calls for service. We had four motor vehicle accidents on the midnight shift, a couple domestics, 3 theft from autos, 1 DUI and 1 vandalism. And on the next page, page 4, you could see the statistics for that time period, reporting time period. Theft from auto, since this report was created, we tried something a little bit different. As you all know, we've been having a problem with theft from autos and stolen cars. So we put out a town-wide phone call to remind everybody to lock their cars.
Jeff?
I'm not quite sure if that's the impact, but it's in the last week or so, it's gone down quite a bit. So the first one, you can see on page 5. On May 4, we had 3 unlocked cars that were entered into in the Peddler's Drive area. They found one of the suspects in the car and chased the suspect on foot through the complex, and the suspect got away. Right now, we don't have any leads on this. On the 8th, we had 2 juveniles that were seen counting a large bag full of quarters at Dunkin' Donuts on West Main Street. The subsequent investigation revealed that the change was stolen from an unlocked car parked in a driveway on Beaver Road. 2 juveniles were charged with that. And on the 8th, we had a wallet stolen from an unmarked car on Thistle Meadow Road.
Unlocked.
Correct, unlocked. Did I say locked?
You said unmarked.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Probably was that also.
Yeah. Unmarked, unlocked.
Well, there's a big difference.
Yeah. I know. So.
Go ahead.
I'll try to provide you with as much entertainment tonight as possible. So on page 6, you can see the A Squad initiatives, the traffic stops, 67 traffic stops, 31 radar assignments, and the amount of citations that were issued. Short Beach report, not too much going on in Short Beach. Nothing of significance to report. The B Squad, which is the day shift, you can see their statistics on page 10. And the officer stats on page 11. Cases of significance, let's
Everyone unlocked.
every one of them unlocked. Again, like I said, the last week,
And you say it at every meeting, lock your cars.
lock your cars. So an interesting thing that some of the other police, it's happening everywhere. If you saw in the patch, Madison Police Department,
Yep. Yeah.
just talked about that. North Haven, they do something interesting. Every day at 9 o'clock, they put out a post on Facebook reminding people to go out and lock their cars.
Do you think in the summertime, people just get a little more relaxed and they're gonna just get out of their car and leave it there in case they want to?
Could be. But it was happening in the wintertime too, so. So we had page 14, we had a vandalism at Parker Memorial Park. 2 picnic benches were forcefully lifted up and dislodged from their concrete anchors. We had a drug overdose at Blue Point Wellness. Had nothing to do with the business that they do there, but heroin overdose. Had a couple sudden deaths, either medical or drug overdoses. So the B Squad continues to focus on some of the commercial businesses that we've been having issues with. We continue the school visits. School is going to be closing soon. And you can see their traffic enforcement and where they're doing it on page 15. Stony Creek, not too much happening in Stony Creek.
It doesn't look like it.
No, a little slow. Our dock master and
Is that Lino?
Lino is our dock master,
Okay.
and our CSO, Tom Fitzgerald, will be, they started Memorial Day, so they'll be out there on a regular basis.
That's the Tom I see downtown now.
I'm sorry?
That's the Tom I,
No, that's Tom Powers in the center of town.
oh, okay.
Tom Fitzgerald is down in Stony Creek. 4 to 12 shift, you can see their stats on page 20 and 21. Cases of significance. We had a shoplifting that turned into a robbery after the suspect shoved the crime prevention officer, loss prevention officer, and took off in a vehicle. The suspect was identified. Some illegal dumping up in Commercial Parkway, theft at residence. We had 2 weed whackers stolen from the area of Autumn Ridge Road from a shed. Page 23,
Another one shed.
PCP has an odor?
PCP has an odor if it's burning.
What does it smell like? Can we get some and burn it?
It's hard to, well, no, is the simple answer on that. How's that? It's a pungent smell. It's, yeah, it's nothing that you want to really smell.
Okay.
Had an evading of responsibility / assault on the 29th. Parked in the person was parked in the parking lot of Big Y. Another vehicle struck the car while the person was sitting in the car. He got out of the car, went back into the store, came back. A little argument ensued, so the guy thought he would ram the car again. Couple of family violence cases on the 4 to 12 shift. We had a suspicious person in the park.
What page you on?
I'm sorry, I'm all the way up to 25.
Okay.
Officer Andrew was patrolling the parking lot of Motel 6 when he noticed a couple suspicious people. Ran with some warrant checks to find that they had some arrest warrants. He was able to re-enter the motel prior to this information being received, avoided apprehension, but one person was taken in for violation of probation and failure to appear. We had a commercial burglary at the Shell gas station, 49 Leeds Island Road, where they broke into the building and stole the ATM machine out of the building.
How do you steal an ATM machine? I mean, do you have to, how many people does it take to lift
You
that?
need a couple people. They're heavy, but
They're
you know,
bolted down.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
rip them out with a truck and a chain and pull them right out. We had a rash of those years ago. I don't know if you remember the Yaks.
Is that a family?
No, it was actually Yugoslavian and Croatians gangs that were coming out and actually ripping the ATM machines right out of even, the banks that have the outside ATM machines. They would hook them up, or they would break into a building and literally take a chain, tie it to the bumper of a truck, and just rip the thing right out and throw it in the back of the truck and take it.
And is there enough in there to make it worth it?
Evidently,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, moving into the detective division, one of the assisted patrol with,
Page 27?
yep, 27, 28. They assisted the patrol division with a recovered stolen vehicle. They located it in West Haven on April 23rd. I'm sorry, it was stolen on April 23rd. They also investigated a untimely death, which looks like it's going to be a drug overdose, and a poisoning case that after lab analysis, they're continuing to work on that. Moving into the next case, a report of a home invasion. This home invasion,
Page?
I'm sorry,
29?
page 30. So the people involved in the home invasion, it's not a concern for other people in town. What it was a person that was dealing drugs that owed money to quite a few people, so they came to collect their money, is basically what happened. Moving into page 30 and 31, the crime statistics.
Somebody trying to get out of it?
I hope not. So you could see the prior period versus the current period. Actually, we are down 71% on auto theft, which is good. Total 27% decrease in the Part 1 crimes. Quality of life, you could see that we had an increase of 7% on shoplifting, a decrease of 57% on theft from auto. We had a huge increase on fraud, and decreases in vandalism and narcotics. Year-to-date, total year-to-date Part 1 crimes, we've had 85 of them. You can see that larceny is down. Auto theft is down year-to-date. Auto theft is up year-to-date, 15 last year compared to 24 this year. Burglaries are up just slightly, and sexual assaults are down. So overall, compared to last year, we are down 10% in Part 1 crimes, even though we've had the huge increase in auto theft. Page 34, you can see the motor vehicle theft detail and how they were taken. It's kind of hard to see, they're black and white, but the majority of them are
Keys?
yeah, no keys. Unlocked cars is what it is. So a very small percentage of them have to do with popped ignitions and utility vehicles. So next page, there's no number on it, so I'm going to say it's 35. You could see that the recovery locations, the lion's share of stolen cars are located in New Haven, and it breaks down in different percentages. But the average day that usually we recover them within 5.65 days of being stolen and within a 10.7 mile radius. So the thing about this, though, is when they steal the cars, they never come back in the condition that they left. So usually they are quite beat up and
So they
smashed
kind
up.
of just joy around and
They joyride. It's almost a game for them to do stupid things with the car and get into chases and just overall create havoc. So. Quality of life crimes, you can see on page 36 that we're down 9% from last year, which is good. And page 37, you could see the pie chart on the shoplifting for the year and where they're occurring. And 38 has our school checks that we continue to do on a regular basis. And the last 2 pages are our hotspots and on motor vehicle crashes. Now, if you look at the last page, it shows you the highest percentage of why people are getting into crashes. And typically, it's fallen too close and distracted driving is the reason why people are getting into accidents. So that is the ComStat report.
Who's doing this report now? It looks different. You have somebody new?
Yeah,
Really?
Dominique Vergolta is our crime analyst. She's been with us for, I want to say close to a year now. She's doing a terrific job, and she's taken a lot of initiative to change some of the stuff on it. Okay, so moving into the forfeiture report. Currently, we have a balance of,
I didn't get one.
you didn't get one? You sure?
No.
Okay. Well, we have a balance of $166,864.15, and here, you could have mine. You don't want mine? Okay. So, and don't forget, we,
Can you delete it?
what's that?
Okay, no, that's good.
We just had a couple expenditures, one for DNA processing for $3,375, and the replenishment into our investigative funds of $979.20. Don't forget, I anticipate getting a rather large windfall of, I think it was about $175,000.
Okay.
On a case that they investigated that had to do with Bitcoin. So, which brings me into the next item of the forfeiture report. A while back, we had, the commission had actually approved the funds for purchase of another canine. Hopefully that's going to come into fruition. Part of the issue with that is the fact of getting available class seats and so on and so forth. So I'm on a waiting list for September
Okay.
for the canine
Who's getting it?
class.
As an officer,
It hasn't. Nobody's been appointed yet at this.
You
point
gonna do
in time.
a female though?
I'm not going to discuss
Okay.
that right now until I make a.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Females are usually better with dogs.
Okay. So the other item that I have on here is the bicycle unit. I'd like to try to reinvigorate the bicycle unit to get them out to do some of these issues that we have in the shoreline communities. So our bicycles have to be, I bet you they're all 20 years old. And they could use replacement, but what I'd like to do instead of going out and buying 5 or 6 bicycles, I'd like to request that the commission make a motion that allow me to spend the funds to buy 2 bicycles to see how it works out, and if it works out and I have the interest to maybe
How
buy more
much
in
are
the
you
future.
talking about?
So I'm talking about close to about $1750 a bike. They're expensive. The bicycles are about $1,000. A light package, $450. Believe it or not, they have a little siren on them, $60.
Cool.
They have luggage on them for $100 and pedal cages $25. So it comes out to about $1,750. So I'll need a motion.
I'll make such a motion. So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. Okay, so moving into personnel.
Mhm.
So the next item is DC position update,
Deputy Chief.
Deputy Chief, sorry. So As you know, a conditional offer of employment was made to Jonathan Mulhern, who is currently the deputy chief in North Haven. He has accepted the offer. There's a process that he has to go through, which includes all the post-C requirements for a police officer, which include things such as a polygraph, a psychological, other testing that's involved with that. Currently, we are at the point where he was given a proposed contract for the position. He's currently reviewing the contract. Once we get that contract back from him, I'm going to ask to be put on the agenda or have the contract be put on the agenda for the Board of Finance meeting, which is the 25th of this month. Pending approval of the contract at that meeting, I'll request a special meeting for the Board of Selectmen to follow immediately after. And the goal is to get him here the first week of July, for no later than the second week of July.
Well, all that's generic, his signature on the conditional contract.
Correct.
And the rest is administrative and
Right.
in your hands.
Right.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
All right, so the next item
There's
is,
got to be a vote on it.
okay.
Moved, seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
So the next item is retirement of supernumerary Jeff Toohill, who put in his resignation. He sent a nice letter. I'm writing today to give you official notification of my retirement from the Branford Police Department on Friday, May 25th, 2018. Additional shift commitments. He also works part-time at Madison PD, and other ventures I wish to pursue have led me to conclude that I can no longer commit to a schedule mandatory for supernumerary assignments that I was needed for. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you personally for all the assistance and guidance and offered me during the transition from Connecticut State Police to the Branford Police. For the past 8 years, I have thoroughly enjoyed being a proud member of the Branford Police Department, and I know that the friendships I have made with you, your staff, and officers will endure. Please feel to contact me. Sincerely, Jeff Toohill. So we're short another supernumerary. I'd like to, hopefully we'll be able to bring that back up a little bit.
Where did we get them from?
A lot of them are retired police officers.
And how do
The way that it started actually was supernumeraries years ago. You would come on as a part-time police officer. The department would vet you to see if you were good for the full-time position, and then they would take you on as a full-time police officer. The requirements for post have changed so much over the years that it's really difficult to have a part-time police officer to be vetted. In years ago, just before I started, people could work as a police officer for a year before they had to attend the police academy.
Yeah.
So times have changed and the training has changed. So it's just not as easy as it used to be. So the injury, moving on to the injury report, Officer Abley had an injury. He's back to full duty. Officer Eula and Sergeant Eula and Officer Hurton are currently out on injuries. We had a couple letters. First one was a letter recognizing Officer Joe Harrington. And this is in regard to a untimely death. And the comments were that Officer Joseph Harrington was assigned to respond to our call. His calm and professional demeanor and his presence reassured that her dignity would be preserved until the removal from our home. I wish to express my appreciation to Officer Harrington and the Branford Police Department for the support with this emotional, personal occurrence.
I read that letter. That's a well-framed letter.
It is. So the next one is in reference to Officer John Campanelli. On April 27, 2018, my daughter was involved in a car accident. The officer arrived at the scene, was John Campanelli. He calmed my daughter until her father came. I would just like to inform you that his professionalism and patience he was very thorough. When I came to pick up the accident report, I, the parent, had some questions. He was patient and kind and easy to speak with, and asked about how she was feeling. With so much negativity in the world against the police, I thought it would be nice to receive a compliment on your officer. Thank you. Which is nice, and that's a fact. So that's my report.
How about Officer Dion?
Yeah,
Did I miss one?
yeah,
C.
the opposite Dion.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's not on my agenda, that's why I didn't read it.
It's on mine.
I mustn't have gotten a updated one. So this is from Chief Jack Drum of the Madison Police Department, and this is in reference to Officer Dion. On behalf of myself and the Chiefs of Police of the South Central Regional SWAT Team, I am pleased to offer our sincere appreciation to you for your professional actions in the role of negotiator during the hostage situation and ultimate explosion that took place in North Haven earlier this month. You exhibited the well-honed skills of an active listener as you demonstrated empathy and labored to build a rapport with the man in crisis while working to slow down the grave situation and bring to a successful and safe conclusion. It is my hope that you can appreciate your importance and value as a skilled negotiator who is a viable member of the team.
That's
Yours
a great
truly.
letter.
That is a great letter. Jack Drum, Chief of Police, Madison. Okay, so now that's my report.
That's your report. Move to accept the report.
Traffic, okay. Move to second.
All in
Somebody-
favor?
Aye.
All right.
Traffic committee.
All right. First request is for no parking this side along the west side of Lower Harbor Street in the vicinity of the beach at Parker Park. There are no parking signs along the east side, but not on the west side. As you can imagine, in season, a lot of traffic. So if you look at it, what the recommendation is that we disallow parking, so no parking on the west side of Lower Harbor Street, with the exception of a sign that allows for loading and unloading, 15 minutes only. Somebody make a motion to that
Oh,
effect.
I'm sorry.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. The next one is a request for stop sign on Club Parkway, stop signs, 2 stop signs at the intersection with Pine Orchard Road. Very poor sight lines, and cars coming from Tucket onto Pine Orchard, turning into Club Parkway, often cut the corner short. And so what the recommendation also is yellow solid lines delineating the 2 lanes oncoming and the lane you're in. So again, would look for a motion.
Motion, second. All in favor?
Aye. The third one is for a letter, requesting a letter, this was at the suggestion of the State Department of Transportation, endorsing sidewalks for public safety when ultimately approved by the town in the Pine Orchard area along Route 146. This doesn't take any action at this time, but
Okay.
just wanted
It was
to.
146 now.
That's Pine Orchard Road.
That's not
I
me.
apologize, it's not a long one. It's, you know where,
I'm on
if you're coming to my
146.
house,
Yes.
where you make that sharp right,
Oh, yeah.
from there to my house, there's no sidewalks, and so that stretch right down through the center of Pine Orchard. You get a lot of kids on bicycles, you've got parents pushing baby carriages, you got a lot of people walking their
Well,
dogs.
that's near the dog park and all that.
No, it's way down. You know where Claire Noyes lived?
Marcy Ward, where she used to live.
Trying to think, Peter.
Bill Clancy, John Donegan, you know where John lived?
Yes.
That stretch there.
Oh,
Of Pine
okay,
Orchard Road.
okay, all right.
Yeah, I knew you'd know John. And Fritz, you knew Fritz too.
And Barbara.
And Barbara. So, I'll get back to you on that, but I just wanted to get you
Okay.
on board. The next request is for the local area traffic authority to approve the update to the Sterling Ridge, proposed Sterling Ridge development on Cherry Hill Road. Anytime there's a modification of that plan, it has to come back through the whole route, and we're in that route. As you may recall, they had, I think, initially requested like 6 buildings, and then that dropped to 4, and now I think there's 3. So traffic keeps getting less, but each time they come back, we have to reapprove it. So look for a motion and a second on that.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. And then the last one came in today. I took a look at it. They're on Lanfear's Cove Road, down in the Short Beach section. It's not really Short Beach, it's more on the harbor, but at any rate, they're developing a home, a new home, on a piece of property that, on Lanfear's Cove Road, that has a no parking sign, no parking this side. The sign is right where the driveway for this new home is going to be, and Public Works will move it, but they need our authorization to move it 15 feet to the west. And it'll still be in front of the same property, but it'll allow them to have a driveway. So, a motion and a second.
I move to accept, to move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. And I did receive another request, just as we were having our committee meeting tonight. We'll look at that, and that'll be on next month's agenda. That was for down in the Stony Creek area.
Okay.
Okay.
That's my report.
Well, approve the traffic committee report? Move. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, report of the chair. I just want to say that, working with the Branford Police Department takes all the work out of being a commissioner. You really, it's all happy, it's all easy, there's no contention, right? Well, I'm probably asking the wrong person. But, it's really, it's a pleasure. It really is. And you work very hard at this, Kevin. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
No, we do. And also, I guess we are meeting the second Monday in July, which I don't know what the date is offhand. July, today's the 11th, so it would be,
We are meeting Monday, July 9th.
okay, the 9th. And then no meeting in August, that's correct?
No meeting in August.
No
Correct.
meeting in August. All right, so I guess
Make
that's.
a motion for adjournment
Second.
at 6:07.
That's a record.
I think so, Tony.
It is a record.
The preceding program was brought to you through the support of the Town of Branford. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at BranfordTV.org.